match is now officially a Judy Bagwell on a forklift match.
Broken, thankless, push you down, open.
What is up?
Hey everyone, just to clarify this for everyone tuning in, this is going to be a pre-recorded episode of
Never tell them the plans!
No, it's pre-recorded. Ethan and I have a very busy weekend with two very big shows that we are both involved with.
Some would say huge.
And we need Thursday night to prepare. So this is a pre-recorded episode. Please still drop your comments like normal. One of us might be watching in the comments section, and we still might flash them up there. Love you. Anyways, as we talked about, it's Clint and Ethan. There's no introductions needed when it's just us two. We have two very big shows. We have one on Friday that's happening out of Wyandotte, Michigan, and we have one on Sunday, which is happening out of Fort Gratiot, Michigan. Not looking forward to that drive, but the first show we have coming up on Friday, and we're going to run down both cards for you real quick. Here we go. First show we have Pumpkin Spice Legdrops from For Us Wrestling.
The homies over at JCW Juggalo Championship Wrestling are invading Pumpkin Spice Legdrops, which is brought to you by FU Wrestling at the esteemed Grizzlies in Wyandotte, Michigan.
Yes. JCW is invading, and speaking of JCW invading, of course, the owner, the head man, the fucking GOAT, Violent J, the Duke, will address the FU universe, stating why that they are invading FU wrestling. And I can only assume it has something...
Is that the FU universe, or is that the F universe? The Funiverse. The Funiverse. It's the Funiverse.
It's the Funiverse. Yeah, no, Violent J is going to be there, along with several, as you see on the poster, several JCW superstars. I see Zico, I see Rohit, I see Matt Cross, the current JCW champion, and right down there in the bottom corner, there's Deputy Dickhead. And of course, Briar Wellington from JCW, also from Horse Slam, which we will be talking about him later. Oh, shit. There's a match graphic. Ethan, talk for a minute. I missed.
Oh, what am I talking about? I'm talking about all kinds of things. Now, listen, here's the crazy thing about JCW. JCW exists in its own world. So there are going to be some people that you may recognize. You fucking don't. You don't. You don't know them. There's a guy looks exactly like Jeremiah Goldname, goes by Jeeves. Don't know how it happened. I don't know if they like put him into one of those silly putty machines and he comes out the other side, and it's kind of like the little dinosaur guys with Dennis Hopper in the Super Mario movie from the early 90s, and they're like made out of like Play-Doh or some shit. There's also a guy that looks really a lot like Ryan Matthias, but if he was like PC Principal, that's Deputy
He was a dickhead.
It was Deputy Dickhead. Deputy Richard Head. That guy, not Ryan Matthias.
We're all set. Speaking of Briar Wellington and DBA were scheduled at the last event to meet for the People's Championship. They will meet this time, JCW versus FU Wrestling, Monsters Mash for the People's Championship. Ethan, what the you're best friends with Jeremiah now. What is a Monsters Mash?
So it's that song that's about a dance, but also like a monster orgy, but also it's a song about a song because they're singing about the singing of the song. Long story short, I just wanted to ask, what do you think the over-under is on how long Briar is going to talk before he gets stabbed by DBA?
Ooh, so I don't know if gambling on wrestling is legal, but if you want to put money down, we will be doing bets. For legal purposes, this is a joke. For how long Briar Wellington will talk before his match with DBA. My guess, he'll go 7 minutes before DBA gets sick of listening to him talk.
Yeah, could be a thing. Definitely possible. I'm not 100% certain on it. All I know is at some point I am going to just fade away. Like I don't know. I'm going to be there, and then when somebody gets stabbed, I'm going to wake back up.
I got DBA coming ahead in this. He's the longest reigning champion right now in FU's history. He has held the People's Championship since Oops All Bangers 2 back in July of 2023.
I was on that show.
You were on that. That was your debut.
Yeah.
It was a long debut. It was the longest match in FU's history.
I almost watched a guy die, and I don't mean the one in the main event. I mean the one that led up to that when my wife almost took somebody out. That was
yeah.
Anyways,
the next match we have to talk about, we have a fatal four-way match for the tag team championships. Grim Reality, your champions going in, are going to be taking on the teams of Hustle and Muscle from JCW, Midwest Misfits from JCW, and Alienated Youth, both men making their returns to FU. So this is a big, this is the biggest match that Grim Reality has been a part of on a physical level. I can't recall the last time they've defended against not only a team of their size in Hustle and Muscle, but two other teams that are quick, agile, and all about the flippy shit.
Yeah, let's not forget that Rohi Raju is a former X Division champion at TNA, and Zico, in his own right, is a very impressive athlete. I would definitely give them the advantage in this, even though they are not currently holding the gold going into it.
No, and they are probably the most experienced tag team in this match as well. Zico, of course, has just won the briefcase for a U.S. championship shot. I can't remember which promotion it's out of. Do you?
No, I do not. I apologize for this.
We're good. I'm distracted by his dog, who is probably barking at the 12-foot tall Frankenstein.
No, it's a 20-foot tall Frankenstein. It's actually currently deflated because it tried to fly away yesterday, and I believe my wife just came home. But instead of acknowledging my dog, let's acknowledge the next match,
which will be for the Trios Championships, the Golden Empire.
It's got my dog Anton on it.
Anton's in there. I love the Golden Empire. They will be defending against the Backseat Boys from JCW. So, I have confirmed with Trayvon, TJK, that Jamal will be here. Because for those who don't remember, at the last show, they used a proxy in Kevin Calloway. Kevin Calloway technically won the Trios Championships with TJK and 24K, but he forfeited the title. We'll get to more of that in just a bit.
We have more to talk about Kevin Calloway here in a moment.
We do. But this is for the Trios Championships, and of course, the Golden Empire making their first events of the gold after, for lack of a better term, eviscerating the Kids Next Door.
Correct.
So you'll hear more about the Kids Next Door later. But I've got to back my Golden Empire in this. They've got Anton.
We should probably use his real name. I believe it's King Midas.
King Midas. I'm sorry. They have King Midas in their corner, and that's an extra man. It's essentially a 4v3.
I'm going to let you know right now that if you're wondering what you're hearing a little bit about right now, you're going to hear these two lovely voices called the first half of an alternate cut of commentary for us wrestling.
And that's another big announcement, is that we have talked to the boss man, Jeremiah Goldman, and we have worked out a partnership to where we will have the first half of the show on our YouTube channel, along with the pre-show featuring Annie O'Neill and myself. Both of those will be available for free, courtesy of Jeremiah Goldman. He has not given me a time frame on when it is allowed to be uploaded, so please do not use this as an excuse to not go to the show, because you can watch it, because I don't know when this shit's going to be uploaded.
I can also tell you that we do, and this is for any fans of Divine, we will have the Divine title match. However, that will not be in the first half of the show. We will have the Divine and FU title, women's title match. That is something that will be on our channel.
Yes, because as we promised you, the Divine Championship will be seen in every defense unless it's out of state. And if it's out of state, they will send us the footage to put up for all.
Or if it's at PWAS, I will say that Rivera has his own dealio there. If it's defended at Pro Wrestling All Stars, then go to the shows because they're festival shows and they're fun and they're usually pretty inexpensive and it's a good way to spend a Saturday afternoon.
And I hope this match is in the first half so that way we can broadcast it because it's a first time ever match. Randy West versus Ray Larson. Ray Larson, of course, coming off an impressive victory over Leela Hall at the last FU show and in the banger triple threat, which you can find from the Divine Show against Jody Threaten. The main topic, Storm Garcon.
That it is this, but more importantly, like you said, this is a first time ever match. Ray and Randy have ran the rounds in the state of Michigan and have yet to cross each other's path. I know that in some ways it almost seemed like Ray was ducking this match. That's not the case. Things didn't line up, but Randy has been licking her chops since this match has happened. And she looks to leave her mark on Ray during this. So to Ray, good luck.
Yeah, because I speak to Ray almost every day. Ray has told me that this is her toughest challenge, without a doubt. She has been wanting this match with Randy for so long to test herself and see if she's able to hang with the 22-year vet. Now, I don't want to take anything away from either women. Of course, Randy West is known for having death matches across the entire United States against some of the best male deathmatch wrestlers in the world. Ray Larson is no slouch either.
And Ray, female, Mickey Knuckles.
They have made their rounds on the women's division across the state of Michigan. They have wrestled everyone but each other. And let's not take anything away from Ray Larson, who has had banger matches. She has been a part of SOS, has been in trios matches, has wrestled everyone under the sun except Randy West.
It is going to be quite the interesting time.
Like I said, I am trying to convince the boss man to give this match in the first half so that way we can bring you this match, this first time ever match.
I have some insight that it should be.
Okay. But we'll go on from a first time ever to a very quick personal feud. Xander Bennett is going to go one-on-one with Kevin Calloway.
You're rather friendly with both of these gentlemen. I will let you take the lead on this one.
I am friends with Kevin Calloway, the person. Kevin Calloway, the wrestler, is a completely different person. Xander Bennett is the ultimate underdog. Xander Bennett has come from behind more times to win a match than anyone I've ever seen. Xander's no slouch. Xander, of course, has given the likes of Adam Wick, Maximilian, AVZ, Thomas Bailey. He has put all of them through the ringer.
Chuck Stein from MPW.
Yep, Chuck Stein, KJ Reynolds. The list goes on and on for Xander Bennett, who he has competed against and has had hard-fought, sometimes victories, over those men. Kevin Calloway's a different monster. Kevin Calloway wants this. And I know Kevin. Kevin doesn't really want anything. He wants to get his hands on Xander Bennett. He's tired of Xander Bennett in the way that he is, because he sees a lot of potential in Xander, but Xander doesn't see that. So
Xander is an interesting character, and I don't mean to disparage him in any way. Xander's biggest opponent is himself.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that there are ulterior motives in this. Kevin sees things in people that other people don't see within themselves. And I think Kevin knows that Xander is his own biggest opponent. So while on the surface, this might seem like the agent of chaos, the Chaos Goblin, Kevin Calloway, against Xander Bennett, this is really Kevin against Xander's biggest enemy, which is himself.
Either way, to come out with the victory, they have to beat Xander.
Yes, they do.
Well, we'll move right along to Another very personal feud. Jamie Eternal versus Dean Hendricks. And remember, every match for Jamie Eternal right now is a career-threatening match. And let's talk about the history of Dean Hendricks and Jamie Eternal.
Yes, let's.
Most people don't know this. Jamie Eternal trained Dean Hendricks. Jamie Eternal brought Dean Hendricks up the system. Dean Hendricks wouldn't have a career without Jamie Eternal. Let's rip that Band-Aid off right away. So for Dean to have the balls to go after the person who gave him a career, knowing that his next loss is his last and he's done, why would Dean want to end the career of the man who built his career?
Because sometimes to open a new book, you have to close the one you started reading first.
Now let's talk about both men's accomplishments, because there's a lot. Of course, Dean Hendricks, former multi-time trios champion in FU. He's been champion across the state of Michigan and other companies. Mm-hmm. He has had very big victories over the likes of Jake Chris and Jack Price over the past few months. Jamie Eternal has not taken a pinfall loss in FU since you and I started going to FU shows.
Yep.
He's never been pinned. The matches he's lost have been multi-man matches or tag matches. And I'll tell you right now, the person taking the fall in his matches was AVZ.
You know, I don't want to be the guy to tell AVZ that he's the one that screwed up and stuff. So I'm not going to say that, but I'm going to let you tell him that.
Oh, I'll tell AVZ to his face that he's the reason Jamie is the way he is right now.
And we've seen this new, refreshed Jamie who's willing to put his career on the line, willing to end all that he loves just for one more taste. I don't know what the taste is. I don't know what it is because I'm not insane like that. I'm not somebody who's going to put my whole career in front of me for one more match. But he's doing that. This is a la Ric Flair, a la Christian, one more match. And Jamie's there.
And you have to imagine the winner of this match, because both men have been on such a tear. This has got to be put one of them in contention for the belt. Like, can you imagine Jamie never losing on his way to the FU title?
Or somebody who has reinvented themselves entirely over the past calendar year, Dean Hendricks, somebody who was the third wheel of killing the business, somebody who was cast aside, is now rising above. We could see it. The current FU champion, Maximilian. Jamie or Dean and him, there's history there.
There's history there. There's history with Max and Jamie as well, because the last loss Jamie Eternal had was in a triple threat match against Maximilian and Dean Hendricks.
Yep.
Just showing you how much all of these stories are interweaving right now. How much Jamie has to gain from this win. Like I said, a year ago, what was it? Yeah, it was a year ago at the FU Halloween show, Jamie Eternal lost when Max pinned Dean. There's a lot. There's a lot to this, but the main thing is it's the headliner, the guy who went from being the opening act, jerking the curtain at the beginning of this calendar year, to now being one of the best stars in the business today. The headliner.
Very much. You have such a pulse on this. I know that you follow Dean. I know that you definitely keep an eye on Jamie due to your previous interactions.
You mean the lawsuit?
Listen, I wasn't going to go there. We're going to be on commentary. This match is potentially there. I don't want to get knocked for any favoritism, anything like that. So Before we say anything inflammatory, we should probably move on. I don't think Jamie cares about lawsuits. I think he cares about bloodshed.
I don't know. Jamie Eternal doesn't hurt me, and I'd like to keep it that way. So, moving on to the blood feud going into this show. If you watch the Divine show, you know what match I'm talking about. Rory Shield and Ricky Morris are going to settle this once and for all. And
Boy, I sure hope so.
It is last woman standing. Of course, the women's liaison of FU Wrestling is our ring announcer at Divine Women's Wrestling. And while she had no power to make matches at Divine, she definitely had power to book this rematch and make it to where it's going to be definitive.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Annie. I can't give you all of the power. It's just not a thing.
No. But she spoke to Jeremiah right after the show, and Jeremiah was just like, good job. Because this is a hot match. The crowd was chanting for 5 more minutes at the end of their match in Divine.
It was really cool.
It was fucking rad. So we're going to give them all the time they need. There's no time limit on our last woman standing match. The only time limit is the 10 seconds to answer the call.
Yeah, and so there's some extenuating circumstances going on with this as well. As you all know, Rory Shield's been making enemies of everybody. And whilst nothing can happen in Divine, it's an all-women's promotion, she has made quite the enemy of an official. Now, I don't think the official will step outside of their bounds with Tango Jones. However, I can't guarantee the same for Rory.
Is Tango the ref for that match?
I don't know. I think I would suggest against it, just, on a fair and unbiased, opinion. But I can't tell you. I can't say that he isn't.
Because he was the referee for the first Ricky Rory match. And this feud's been going on since September. Not September. It's been going on since fucking May.
I was going to say September's not very long. That was 3 days ago, homie.
It's been going on since May when Rory was unable to make the match with Ricky at Divine. Every rose has its thorn. And of course, Rory has just been egging her on this whole time. And Ricky just wants to get her hands on her. So, if Tango is the ref in this match, that's going to be interesting. Because Tango just had a whole fucking podcast about his beef with Rory the other night.
It's rather interesting, I can tell you that. I've never seen this happen before from a standpoint of an official. I know other officials haven't seen it, but hey, you know what? This is a new age. Maybe there's something else going on here.
Hey, and sometimes the wrestler is not always in the right. I have seen Rory step over the line to almost anyone at this point.
I've seen it happen a considerable amount of times.
She lays her hands on everyone. She's shoving me. She's punching Annie. She's shoving Tango and screaming at him. So you have to imagine there's a lot of people in the locker room rooting for Ricky in this match.
I agree. It's hard to say. Listen, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that have been wronged by Rory Shield.
Mm-hmm. And from there, we go into what I can only describe as a triple main event for the show. Because we have 3 huge title matches ahead of us. We'll kick off with the one nearest and dearest to our heart. It is Stella Buho versus Heather Blue, Divine Pro Wrestling Championship for Us Wrestling Women's Championship. Both titles are on the line. Stella defeated Heather at Divine. Season of Change. So, Heather wants the rematch. And in fact,
Stella has 2 wins over Heather at Divine now.
Yep.
I believe a League of Their Own, she had also originally defeated Heather in that match to win the title.
She last eliminated Heather?
Yeah. For
the title.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I believe that turned into a one-on-one match after it was down to the last 2.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 0-2 for Heather for when it comes to the Divine Women's Championship, but she is hungry for this belt. She says this belt means the most to, it means the world to her. She knows how much women's wrestling means, and to be the champion of an all-women's promotion would mean the world to Heather. And Stella, I don't want to talk much on Stella, but Stella has dropped 3 of her 6 belts since Divine.
It's 3-6 or 3-5, but either way, a little bit of a power shift going. So we should see a very hungry owl at this point, and we just hope that Heather doesn't become an owl pellet.
Now, Ethan, would you like to tell Stella the bad news? Because we released a video yesterday.
Yeah. So Stella, hey, listen. I thought I was a better golfer than I was, and well, there may have been some skullduggery, tomfoolery, if you will, in the
Fuckery,
match.
if you will.
This is a family show. I unfortunately lost, so this is not going to be the simple, straightforward rules match. But Jeremiah Goldney, the CFO of For Us Wrestling, the HBIC over there, he has decided that it will be tribal.
Before you say that, I want to thank Max and LaDon because this match stipulation is all their fault. It's all their fault.
Yeah, it is. It's the tribal owl combat, and what that means is I don't know. So it's FU, it's their rules, it's not ours. I apologize, and we're gonna hope for the best.
We're gonna hope for the best. Either way, I am cool with either one because I love both of them very, very much. I think both of them are athletic and talented wrestlers. I think they both are strong in different aspects. But this is going to be a very, very violent match, and hopefully will end the feud once and for all of Stella versus Heather.
We can hope.
Next match. I don't know which one to bring up first, so I'm just going to stick with FU. Maximilian versus Ren Jones for the FU 24K Championship.
Yes.
This is going to be a stonker. It's going to be a slobber knocker.
Max, are you using words?
Yes. Max, of course, is currently your FU 24K champion. Your Metro Pro Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion. Your XICW Light Heavyweight Champion. Max is a dangerous man. And
Tony's current crush.
Yeah, current crush, always. I love date nights. Him and I go to Horse Slam and just watch deathmatch wrestling. We're very excited for the next one just because Shane Mercer is going to be there.
Ooh, Kamikaze's getting thrown. I know they're not even facing each other, but Kamikaze's getting thrown somehow.
But Maximilian is, like, I don't want to be this guy, but we have a guy we're talking about in just a moment. But there's a new faction in town. Heather, Max, and Adam. It's a dangerous fucking threat with those three. And I don't see Max losing the title. I understand that Ren Jones is a phenomenal wrestler. One of the best. But Max right now is on a tear. Like, he's tearing through everyone and anyone at this point. Because he has something to lose now.
He's relatively unstoppable. Like, let's just call it what it is. Max has this knack to get under people's skin, to just succeed when the odds are against him the most. And he has shown that time and time again, he will be able to come out victorious on top. And somehow, some way, I just already feel it, Max is coming out on top on this one too.
Absolutely. I can't wait.
Ren's been on AEW. Hey, Ren's been on WWE.
Yep. He's been everywhere. It's going to be a good match. And Max, I hope, comes away with the win. But it could be either or at this point. So let's talk about the last of the triple main events. For the JCW Championship, Matt Cross, your current JCW Heavyweight Champion, will be defending against a former FU Heavyweight Champion in Adam Wick.
Oh boy, Adam's getting a chance at the JCW title. Now, look, I'm not going to be biased about this at all. I love Adam. I love watching Adam wrestle. I think it's an absolute fucking shame that Adam's not signed anywhere. Or he is starting to get out of here. He's starting to get out of the state. Wrestled in New Jersey recently. It's going to continue to go to different places. So if you guys want to see a small glimpse of what's to come in the future with Adam wrestling higher profile talent consistently, this is it. This is the opportunity to do it. But Matt Cross holds
the first victory in AEW history over Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
Also, he's on Backyard Wrestling too.
Yes, he is. The amount of times I had Matt Cross versus Andrew WK on Backyard Wrestling 2. And again, I'm very excited for this FU show for a whole lot of reasons, mainly because I was a juggalo when I was a kid, and I'm very excited.
How are you not I'm calling Frio on this one, because I think once you're down with the clown, you're down for life. That's what the fucking saying is.
Yeah, and I've never ever held any disrespect towards any of the juggalos. When I worked at Hot Topic, the juggalos were consistently my favorite customers just because they were so nice and they were polite, and they never ever were pushy or rude. They came in asking when the new stuff would drop, and when it would drop, they would be lined out the fucking door, and they would be just really chill. They were like, we know we're gonna get the shit, and there's no reason. Violent J and all them has said never disrespect people. Why am I going to come in here and disrespect other people? And of course, we have our little pet juggalo Frio.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
Frio's a good
But that's all of your matches for Pumpkin Spice Leg Drops. All the matches currently announced. I don't see anyone on this graphic who doesn't have a match announced. So I think it should be a pretty eventful night with very little surprises.
I agree with that, and that's what we're hoping for. Well, no, we always love surprises. What are we talking about? We absolutely love surprises. That's why Royal Rumble is my favorite thing.
So again, tomorrow night, FU Wrestling presents Pumpkin Spice Leg Drop. 6 p.m. is the door. 6:10 starts the pre-show, where we will have a viewing at 6:10 of The Ultimate Underdog, the Spider documentary. And after that, we'll follow up with the pre-show with Annie O'Neill and myself, possibly Ethan. I might need him for something.
I'm going to get hurt. I can already tell I'm going to get hurt.
And then 7 o'clock is the bell, where we will kick off with hot action. And again, I want to thank FU Wrestling and Jeremiah Goldmain for allowing us to bring you the first half of the show absolutely free at a future date, with commentary provided by myself and Ethan Hubbard.
Ethan James.
Hot
singles in your area.
So let's move on to this Sunday show, which is a joint super show featuring FU Wrestling, Chaos Wrestling, Flophouse, XICW, Horror Slam, and Divine Pro Wrestling.
It's a lot of people.
October 6th, it's a fundraising event. Ain't no better reason to show up for a wrestling event than fundraisers and charity. It'll be out in Fort Gratiot at the Freedom Lighthouse Fellowship at 4330 Pine Grove Ave, Fort Gratiot Township, Michigan, 48059.
Also, I named this event.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm a fucking nerd.
It is a Fellowship of the Ring. This whole show is to buy a new ring, because a lot of these wrestlers are getting hurt on some of these older rings. I want to give a big shout out to Rivera for always having one of the safest rings to wrestle in. That dude I think that ring's 20 years old, and that thing wrestles like it's 2 days old. That dude keeps it on the up and up. But we've got a lot of matches on this card, because you would imagine 6 promotions all under one banner. There's going to be a lot of them. So let's kick off with a chaos match. The Saloon Slayers, Eddie Dillon, and yeah, it is Eddie Dillon. I keep saying Eddie Dennis sometimes.
Yeah, stop saying Eddie Dennis. Different guy.
And Ace Evans taking on The Void, consisting of Trevor Stroud and TJ Meyer. This will be a very fun match. I know The Void are very serious, to where the Saloon Slayers are just trying to get drunk.
That's not entirely true. They do try, to do other things besides just get drunk. I one time Not even going to go there. All I know is that be careful. Eddie Dillon has a tendency to try to drive boats into places they can't come. Nice thing about boats is not a lot of water. You're pretty safe. So, but we are close. We are close to the water in Port Gratiot. It's right along Port. It's right along Lake St. Clair, Port Huron, the water. So be careful. He might try to sail a ship up in there.
Well, another thing about that too is with the dock strike, their ship is ported on the east side of the United States, so currently they are unable to sail on their ship. So these boys are going to be angry.
Come sail away, come sail away, come sail away with me.
To our very next match, which is an FU sponsored match, as the Grey Wolves will be taking on the FU Tag Team Champions, Grim Reality. And I have confirmed with Jeremiah Goldmain that if Grim Reality are still the tag team champions come this Friday, they will be defending the titles against the Grey Wolves.
Ooh, that is rather impressive. Grim Reality, always a pleasure to watch. Those two gentlemen are fantastic, and I don't even have words for it. Because they beat me up a couple of times, so I'm just going to sing their praises and hope to not get beat up again.
Well, I mean, if Grim Reality does retain on Friday, on Sunday, the Grey Wolves might have an easier time because Grim Reality aren't walking away from that match 100%.
No, but you know what? They're going to do their absolute damnedest. I think it's going to turn out great. You guys, that'll be a great match too. The Lycan, Alex Lynch is coming.
Yes.
Into his own right now. And I feel like under the tutelage of Jarris Gray, he's going to learn an awful lot. So, love to.
And I want to just give this here because Alex is one of the only people to get a Jamie Eternal seal of approval.
He is.
Because if you need to check out how good Alex Lynch is, you can head over to our YouTube channel and check out the Monsters Size Monsters Ball match, where it came down to Jamie Eternal versus Alex Lynch.
And boy, that's a hard-hitting match. If you want to talk about like just impact, that's
five dudes just beating the shit out of each other.
And Alex almost coming away with the win.
Almost ending Jamie Eternal's career. So don't sleep on Alex the Lycan. Because anyways, next match. A Flophouse sponsored match for the Flophouse Tag Team Championships. It's the Bruisers defending against Randy West and Schwartzy and the Golden Empire. So the Golden Empire have a chance to become double champions this weekend.
They do. They do. And if anything that we know about the Golden Empire is that they truly do love the gold. And they somehow just seem to find themselves in title match after title match after title match. And it's a testament to how devoted they are to becoming the top of the trios division.
Yes. I love Randy and Schwartzy. I think they're one of the most underrated tag teams on the going today because people forget that they're a tag team because they're both phenomenal singles wrestlers.
The Schwests.
Of course, Schwartzy right now is the Chaos Pure champion and also the XICW Proving Grounds champion. And next week, Schwartzy finally gets his hands on Briar Wellington for the Deathmatch Championship.
Yep, it takes place at Horror Slam.
Which, Horror Slam, I can't wait. Speaking of Horror Slam, let's talk about Briar Wellington, because Briar Wellington is going to host a Humble Yourself Rookie Challenge.
I can tell you, I am not getting humbled because I am not the one doing this.
No. But I'm very excited to see Briar Wellington. I have fallen in love with this dude. I enjoy him I enjoy talking to him on a personal level, and I enjoy his work on a professional level. So I'm very excited that Briar and Horror Slam are a part of this show. Because, again, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Horror Slam.
Horse Slam.
Horse Slam. Rachel hates that. Anyways, let's move on.
Don't care. It's the funniest thing, and everybody laughs about it.
Everybody loves it. Let's move on to another Chaos match. For the Chaos Tag Team Championships, we have Triple Platinum defending against Midwest Misfits. a lot of these wrestlers pulling double duty this weekend. Of course, Midwest Misfits is going to be in the FU tag team title match. So another duo that has a chance to walk away this weekend with 2 sets of championships.
I don't know enough about the Midwest Misfits, and I'm actually excited to be able to be there for a match, be able to see it in person. I love finding out about people that I'm unaware of. I don't like calling people new talent, because the last time I did that, I realized somebody had been in wrestling for 12 years. And, well, let me tell you how sheepish that is.
Yeah. But I love Triple Platinum. They are currently your Chaos Tag Team Champions, as well as your MPW Tag Team Champions. So, they're becoming a dominant force. I love Triple Platinum. Moving on to the Divine-sponsored match of the evening. Stella Buho, if she is still champion, will be defending against Ricky Morris.
Yes, and very key thing that you just said there, too. Stella is obviously facing off against Heather Blue on Friday. However, I also have to add that if Stella does win the FU championship, this then becomes a double title match.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
Okay, so if Stella wins, it is a double title match against Ricky Morris for the Divine and FU Women's Championship. That is going to be an interesting matchup because, again, Stella, if she wins, will be coming off Tribal Owl Combat. Ricky Morris will be coming off Last Woman Standing.
Neither one of them is going to feel good after this.
No, this is going to be a very, very hard match for the both of them. And even if there's no titles on the line, neither one of them is going to want to take a loss when it comes to either the FU Women's Championship or the Divine Women's Championship, just solely based off placements on the cards, because wins and losses do matter.
Yeah, they're not. It's not going to be an easy thing. Nobody's going to want to take a loss. You don't ever want to take a loss. Like, let's be honest with it. You just don't. So we're going to see where it's at, but I can definitely tell you they're not both going to be at 100%. And we can hope for the best.
Yeah. Moving on to our next match.
Yes.
Another Flophouse match. It'll be Nick Mouse going up against a big baby doll friend of the channel, Gigi Jacobs. You! It's hard to be unbiased in this match.
Yeah, it's very hard. No offense, Nick. I want Gigi to win this.
I love Gigi Jacobs so much. Like, Nick is great. I love Nick. I love every time that he's at a show. We get a few minutes to chat. Great dude. I love watching him wrestle. I think he's one of the more entertaining wrestlers going on today. And, of course, a staple of Flophouse.
Yep.
So this is really a match because Gigi's been on a fucking tear. Like, granted, he's not winning matches, but the matches he's having at Flophouse right now are fucking barn burners. Like I could talk about the Bruisers versus Mickey Knuckles and Gigi Jacobs from the last, what was it? Flophouse, Bad Motherfucker. I could talk about that match all day. It was so fucking good. Oh, fucking good. I loved it. And I don't know. I love Gigi so much. He was really our first favorite wrestler when we started getting into the indie circuit, like the Michigan scene.
It forever, Gigi is going to be one of my faves.
Yeah, if there's a Mount Rushmore of like local wrestlers we love the most, Gigi's definitely a first round ballot.
I just want to clarify, this is not me being like biased against anybody else. Just the impact that Gigi had on making me fall in love with wrestling again cannot be understated.
You mean Ronnie Garvin Jr.?
Yes, Ronnie Garvin Jr. Oh my God.
Also, we have another big match because in another Flophouse match, we have Sam Beal versus Harley Rock in a battle of the best mullets in Michigan.
Sam Beal is the croc rockin', pit viper wearing Perminator. And look, Harley Rock, Mr. Starman, if you will. You're fun. You're entertaining. You're great. You're not Sam Beal.
Like, I understand all the comparisons that people make between Sam Beal and Harley Rock. Like, this is really a clashing of two styles that are very similar, even down to hairstyles.
Yeah, but it's not Sam Beal. I'm calling my shot in this one. Sam Beal is fantastic. Former Impact star Sam Beal. Just should be top of the world Sam Beal. Fantastic Lions fan Sam Beal. And you want to know how good of a Lions fan Sam Beal is? He lives in Ohio and still likes the Lions. That's how good Sam Beal is.
I haven't seen Sam Beal like in a year because the dude has just been everywhere. The dude has like on Impact. He's been on what is it? Rhino's promotion. What's that called again?
IWR.
Like, the dude's been everywhere, and the fact that he's making a stop here is very nice, and I'm very excited to see Sam Beal again. So let's move on. Another condition on Friday night. A lot of matches depend on what happens at FU. For the FU Championship, if Maximilian retains, he will be defending the championship against Isaiah fucking Moore.
This is going to be wild.
That's going to be a fucking wild match. Like, Max has a banger weekend of matches against hard competition. And man, if he walks away with the belt after this weekend, Max might go down as the greatest FU champion in history.
Clinton, something tells me that Max's title defenses aren't the only thing that's hard right now.
I plead the fifth. Anyways, no, this is going to be a fantastic match, regardless if a championship is on the line or not. I really got no more words for this. It's going to be something that you've never seen before because these two are unpredictable wrestlers. Like, Max could be a striker. Max could be a high flyer. Max could be a grappler. So can Isaiah Moore.
He's a hell of a shit talker.
They're both hell of a shit talkers.
I'm just saying Max specifically is a hell of a shit talker.
Well, yeah, he's got, like, they're both hell of a shit talkers, but Max is definitely, like, up there. But that's going to be a fantastic match. And then we move on to the main event.
What do you got for the main event?
It is for a Chaos title, but this is not a one organization match. Thomas Bailey will be defending the Chaos Digital Media Championship against Mark Ross. Mark Ross has not been seen in the wrestling industry in 18 months. He's been very vocal since he came back. Mark said he had a lot of problems. He had a lot of things that he had to work through, and he couldn't do that when he was around wrestling. So he did something that I respect more than anything. He left. He didn't really talk to many people. He didn't tell people what was going on. He just left.
I'm going to let you do all the talking.
I know. And when he heard about this show happening in his backyard, he felt this was the time to come back. He has been watching Thomas Bailey tear it up on the independent scene since Mark left. Mark left and Thomas kind of filled that void of where Mark was. Of just a really beloved, hard-hitting motherfucker that just didn't stop. The everyman man. It's a match I didn't think I'd ever see. And I am making the 4-hour round trip just for this match. This match could have happened in fucking Kentucky, and I would have been driving down to Kentucky for this match. And Ethan and I, we can't really turn away from our love for the Baileys. The Baileys have been one of our biggest supporters and some of our best friends since we started coming around the industry. And I don't know. I have too much invested in this, and your keyboard clacking is really distracting.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I'm trying to make some things happen for the divine side of things right now that would be very exciting to announce this weekend.
Yeah.
I've moved away. I'm letting you finish this. Please go ahead and talk
That's
about our
pretty much
friends
it.
Josh and Kelly.
No, like our best friends, Josh and Kelly. They have sponsored me when I have done FU. They have sponsored Divine.
Bailey's Bearded Dragons.
Bailey's Bearded Dragons. You should go check them out. And we just don't have enough nice things to say about them. And their son, while he is a ruthless killer in between the ropes, outside of the ring, he's one of my nearest and dearest friends. He's like a little brother to me. Which Thomas has had some pretty hard matches. He's never taken on anyone the likes of Mark Ross. Mark Ross doesn't fucking wear wrestling gear. Mark Ross wears jeans.
Well, that's not true. He's worn wrestling gear before. He has that mermaid stuff.
Every time I've seen Mark Ross, he has come out in just jeans and a fucking torn up jean jacket vest.
After half an hour of a Phil Collins song.
Which is probably my favorite part. This is my most anticipated match of the year. And I am going to try to work it out with Rob to where we can bring you this match.
Clint gets exceptionally excited watching Brother Bear.
Brother Bear is the superior Phil Collins Disney soundtrack. Tarzan is great. Brother Bear is perfect. Take a look through my eyes is better than anything on the Tarzan soundtrack. Okay? Okay?
I'm going to let you go with it.
That's it. It's Thomas Bailey versus Mark Farking Ross. And let's not forget...
Farking Ross!
I burped there a little bit.
Holy shit! Oh, Farking.
I saw this meme the other day. It was like...
Are we on the good place now? We can't say
I don't know, but fucking... I was reading this meme and it was like, nothing is funnier than when your friend accidentally mispronounces a word slightly.
The whole thing.
Yes. So, that's it. It's Thomas Bailey versus Mark Ross. Digital Media Championship. Thomas Bailey is, of course, the Chaos Interim World Heavyweight Champion as well right now.
Big deal there.
That's a big fucking deal.
I mean, honestly, if Mark comes away with this, it kind of seats Mark in a spot to take on Thomas for the title.
Yeah. And Ethan, of course, like this is a show a ways away. But tentatively, January 10th, 2025, Divine Pro Wrestling presents Endless Waltz as Alice Crowley will make her Divine Wrestling debut. Tentatively, 110 right now.
I am so excited because there are going to be more announcements for this show. If you think Big Al is the only debut coming at this show, just wait.
Just wait. Fucking wait. Now, should we be transparent? Because that's like that's our thing. We're always transparent.
No. We're not being transparent yet. People can deal with this. That date will be solidified no later than October 18th. That is all I'm saying.
Yes. Okay. We don't have any matches announced yet because we want to see how the remainder of the year is going to play out through most of these organizations. Most of these organizations are wrapping up their calendar year by the end of November.
Yep. I mean, I do have a match that I could announce. It was based on that, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait and save this because this is about these two shows that we were just talking about. This isn't about Endless Waltz yet.
You will hear Endless Waltz on every show we do until Endless Waltz. But of course, if you are not busy this weekend, if you have nothing else going on, even if you have shit going on, cancel it. FU Wrestling presents Pumpkin Spice Dropkicks October 4th, doors at 6 p.m. Special viewing of The Spider, the Ultimate Underdog at 6:10. Pre-show kicks off at 6:30, and the bell time is at 7 o'clock. 1519 Oak Street, Wyandotte, Michigan, 48192. Tickets are on sale now. And 6 promotions bring you Fellowship of the Ring. October 6th, this upcoming Sunday, Freedom Lighthouse Fellowship, 4330 Pine Grove Ave, Fort Gratiot Township, Michigan, 48059. Tickets for that event are just $10.
And it will be available on IWTV after that.
Yes, it will be. If there's a Divine title match that happens, it will be on our channel.
Yes, you will get it.
You will get that as soon as I can get it to you.
That is an absolute mandate.
But that's going to do it for us. And again, you can see Ethan and or myself at both of these events coming up this weekend. I'll be hosting the pre-show. Ethan and I will be providing commentary for FU. And then this upcoming Sunday, I will be there with my brother. We will be running sound and doing video.
Also, I did want to say, if in case anybody watches this is an alternate cut. This will be on our channel. This is not to interrupt the regularly scheduled FU commentary cut that you are also used to as well. So I don't want to take anything away from the gentlemen that are on that side of it doing that as well.
No, because the FU show will be available at a later date for a price, whatever Jeremiah sets. But due to the success of the Divine show, Jeremiah wanted to express his gratitude because he helps us out with this by bringing you the first half of the FU show absolutely free on our YouTube channel at a later date. You will have me and Ethan on commentary. We might have special guests. I don't fucking know yet because this got planned out on Monday.
Right. This is all new. Like we're used to. We know how it is to run on 4 days.
Yes. And if you haven't already, if you're here on the channel and you haven't gone back to see what we've uploaded over the past week, you can, of course, check out Divine Pro Wrestling Season of Change. That is available, the entire show in its entirety, absolutely free on our YouTube channel. We also have the alternate cut for commentary for the main event between Stella Buho and Heather Blue, which will give you more insight on what Tribal Owl Combat will be. Thank you, Max and LaDon. You can also see the bet featuring Jeremiah and Ethan, where they played a game of mini golf to settle what stipulation would have this Friday. If you've watched this whole show, you already have the spoilers, but go check that out because they dragged me out of bed to film that shit. Just for me. For me.
I love it. I love it.
They literally called me at 2:00 and said, "Bitch, get ready. We need you at 5."
Well, I didn't say those exact words.
I know you didn't. And we just uploaded from the vault Adam Wick versus Alex Weir, no holds barred from FU Presents The Uncanny Booked. You can check all of that out on our channel. You can check more things coming later. There's a whole lot coming to our channel now. I'm going to do this one last thing because some people who click on our YouTube channel may notice. We have dropped wrestling from On a Forklift Wrestling Podcast. We are just going forward being known as the On a Forklift Podcast because effective November 15th with the last FU show of the year, along with other promotions, we will be going on a hiatus. During that hiatus, there might be some other videos being uploaded that are not wrestling related because we have a lot of love for wrestling. But Ethan and myself also have a lot of love for other things that we're becoming more excited to share with you.
Yeah, you kind of saw it last week with last week's episode when we were playing Commander, so you might get some magic cards. Ooh, hey, look at this. I'm going to open a Pokemon pack live while we're doing this. So I just got, this is a black code card out of Fusion Strike. There's an opportunity to get the Gengar out of this, which is a chase card. Scorch, Bug Catcher, Fusion Strike Energy, Shinx, Venery, Basculin. You guys are probably loving this. Grubbin, Mankey. Caporaja is my reverse holo. Oh, no, but I did get the Alt Art Sandaconda, which is actually kind of nice. So I'm not mad about that at all. That works out great for me.
But like, you look at my shelf behind here, these are just Magic the Gathering decks. That shelf down there is just bulk stuff that I've been organizing. We have a big, deep love for video games and card games, board games, all of that shit. You know who else has a deep love for that shit? Other wrestlers.
Big time.
I can't tell you how many times we've had people hit us up for like, yo, you want to play Commander? Yo, you want to do this shit? So we're going to film a couple games of Commander with some of our closest friends in the wrestling industry and some people who are not in the wrestling industry, but are heavily into Magic the Gathering.
Big time.
Big time. You'll also see other stuff coming up to the channel. Kevin Calloway and I have been working on a secret project for a while now We'll probably announce that on Forklift together. But there's a lot of new stuff coming. There's a lot of...
I don't know what that is, so I want to hear about it.
And the one other thing, because we've done it for the past couple of years, and we have to skip this year. We're gonna be taking a break from the charity stream. I can't do a 24-hour stream this year.
Yeah. So long story short, Extra Life's not happening this year with On a Forklift. However, with that said, next year, Divine will be tying in some different charities, probably most likely animal rescues, just because, well, we love the animals. So we will get you guys updated on that as soon as that happens. Our goal is to work with multiple animal charities throughout the year, whether that involves us doing a show and part of the proceeds from the show go to the animal shelter, or us with some of the wrestlers volunteering our time at an animal shelter. That is something that we look forward to doing, and we will keep you all updated when that happens. And if you would like to be a part of it, there will definitely be details on how you can be a part of it.
Absolutely. And we know we're winding up towards the end of the calendar year. This has been the biggest year we've ever had. And it wouldn't have been as big without all of you and the wrestling promoters that we have worked so closely with over the past 2 years. Again, big shout outs to Rach, big shout out to Breyer, Jeremiah, Rob. Like, those guys have been nothing but good to us since we started. And,
yeah, I appreciate it.
And I'll a big shout out to Metro Pro Wrestling, because their matches help put our channel on the map.
Yeah.
And big shout out to Frio for letting me film some matches when he had a monopoly on that shit forever.
That is also true. We can't deny that. It was a pretty cool thing. Obviously, we've come a long way in being, friends with Frio and everybody else that does this stuff. So, yeah. Now we tend to take this time and gush over stuff, but I got to be honest, this chair is starting to hurt my back because I'm
cool.
dumb and I hurt myself.
That's cool. And the last shout out I had, I want to send a big thank you to Ren Mark, who is going to be filming on behalf of On a Forklift this upcoming Friday for Pumpkin Spice Legdrops.
Yes.
I would like to
thank you to Ren for all of Ren's help with everything.
I would like to thank them very much. And all the audio will be provided by the big hog himself, Trevor Davis. Again, thank you to Trevor for helping us out on such short notice to get this done. But Ethan wants
such a sweetheart.
He is such a sweetheart. We're going to wrap it up so that way Ethan can get out of his chair. We'll see you all this weekend. We love you, Judy.
We love you, Judy.
Have a good night.